Yo, what's going on everyone? This is AZN here. Today, you guys are watching another figure review, and this time, it is on the Ultimate Raphael from the comic book series Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin by NECA. So without wasting too much time, let's get right into the box. A quick look at the box here. We got a really dope looking illustration of Raphael in the front box, and also if you open this up, there's like a Velcro piece right here that you can open up the window. You get to see the promo pic of the figure right here, and also the figure itself in the window, looking pretty dope. On this side, you just get a picture of the last Ronin saying Raphael, the third figure. I believe this is like the third installment of this line so far. I can't remember, but anyway, in the other side you get a picture of the illustration of Raphael. If you already have like the first two last Ronin figures, this is what you get so far from, creating this art piece. There's still some other figures you gotta get from this line, but this is what you get so far if you do decide to display your boxes this way. In the back, you see all the promo pics of Raphael, like with various poses. In the very bottom, you see the last Ronin himself, and also the bio of the last Ronin, and also the NECA logo down here. In the bottom of the box, you see the people who sculpted the figure, or took pictures of behind the scenes of the figure. So there's all the credits right there. We also got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo right there, made in China and NECA. So that's about it for the box. For accessories, he comes with a teeth grinning face, which looks pretty cool, a screaming and yelling alternative head, also with a alternative headband that has more of a wind swept look to it. And I really like the sculpting. NECA really killed his face expression. It looks really dope, especially on the mouth. Like you can see like extra detail around the jaw area. You also see some like between the tongue area and all that. So that looks really good. I really like how that turned out. It's probably one of my favorite face expressions in the figure, aside from like the teeth grinning one. For hands, he comes with his default ball fist, two karate chop hands, some two gripping hands to carry his size, which I have on him right now. And if you don't want him to carry the size, you can always store it back here. You do want to be careful sliding these in, because like it can get in that hole right there, so you want to make sure it goes right through the middle. So you want to be real careful sliding these in, because the way that these are made, they can still work. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you like trying to slide these in. And if you don't want him to carry his size in the regular way, there's also these hands that are available with the figure. With I forgot the name of the hand gesture of these. I'm an idiot. But these are for the blades to get in between his figures to put them into more dynamic poses. He also comes with this throwing knife. I don't know why I keep thinking this looks like a piece of cutter, but it's a throwing knife. So it goes on either this finger or the gripping hands. I can't really tell, but I think it's more for the gripping hands and not really for these hands. Alright, so I failed to mention that you can also store the throwing knife in this strap right here, but the issue is it's really hard to put in, and I tried pushing it, but I don't want to end up messing up my fingers or having them sore, because like it already kind of happened. But you might want to somehow stretch this part out so it can slide in completely, like how it is in the promo pics. So yeah, like I don't know what you can exactly use, probably like a stick or something, I don't know, but just be aware you are gonna have a hard time putting this in. And his final piece, which is this arrow for replicating that fight scene that he had with Karai in the comic, and that's the furthest I go because I don't want to spoil what happens, you know, in this video. But if you read the comic, I mean, if you know, you know. But anyway, so where this go at, I believe it goes right here. I think it slides right in there. I don't know if that's accurate or not. I think it goes somewhere else in this shell. Sorry guys, I'm just adjusting my camera. It either goes right here or somewhere in here. I feel like it goes somewhere in here, because I feel like it's falling in a bit deeper. But honestly, you can put it anywhere you want. But if you want it more comic accurate, I believe the arrow got shot right here. So that's pretty much it about the accessories. And now let's get a look into the sculpting in detail. I love the sculpting in detail. He looks exactly, it just looked like he just got ripped right out of the comic, how detailed this is. I really like the heavy usage of the black lines over the skin tone, the tactical battle suit outfit, well, battle armor outfit rather, that Raphael's wearing. And I feel like this kind of clothing fits Raphael perfectly, since, you know, he's like, he's that type of guy that would fight this kind of way. So I really like that they stay true to like the comic look as always. And I also feel like it's worth mentioning that I don't own any of the other prior Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures by NECA. This is my first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Well, not really one of the first, but it's definitely one of the first lines I got into by NECA since I got into reading the comics. I've always been interested in buying NECA figures, and I've also been interested in getting into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics. So the last Ronin was pretty much the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic I've read, and also the first toy line I've gotten into. So I guess that's a little bit of a fun fact I just throw in there. But the detail on this guy is just phenomenal. Like I already mentioned, he got the vest. It all looks, you know, look a little dirty up, and there's like some, I want to say there's like some black wash in there as well, all over the armor. I'm gonna just zoom in, but I'm gonna just have it closer on camera a bit so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. The detail on this guy just looks amazing. Like the face looks really dope as well. Like I think they capture Raphael's face expression perfectly. Like he looks pissed, like he's about to throw hands with somebody. So it's not really Raphael without this face, honestly. But I just really like the uses of black lines. I do have like a little bit of some imperfections on the figure. I have like a little white spot right here. I don't know if the camera's picking up or not, but I do have a little tiny white spot right there, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. This still looks like a badass figure, man. I really love how well it's sculpted. Even the shells, like you can see all the black lines is like all filled up perfectly. I don't see any other imperfections. The sculpting is just clean, man. Like I really love how they sculpted this figure. And I even mentioned like the wrappage, or like the wraps around his wrist. They also have like this black type of shade to it to make it really pop, to give it more of that realistic look, but also have more of that comic book accurate look to it. So I'm really feeling this figure, man. I'm feeling it a lot. This is probably my favorite NECA figure I've gotten so far, and this is someone, like I already mentioned, I'm just now getting into NECA figures, or more specifically the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, and I really like these a lot. I wish I have some of the other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, like the Mirage figures, stuff like that, so I could pose with them. Or better yet, I wish I had the Senja bot and also the Ultimate Foot Soldier that also got released in this line, but sadly I don't have those two yet, or let alone even Karai. So sadly I won't be taking any pictures along with them since I don't have them, but I almost knocked them down. But I just really love how this figure looks, man. NECA killed it, man. Yeah, I think that's all we have to say about the sculpt and the detail. I feel like I point out all the details on this guy, and honestly I feel like I don't even need to even speak on the rest, how it looks. I mean, I have to since I'm doing the review, right? But it's just the sculpting, man. It just looks so good. So here is Raph standing next to the last Ronin figures that came out. Wow, that sounded redundant. But anyway, here he is standing next to the other last Ronin figures that got released, the unarmored version and also the armored version. And both of these do look a bit taller than Raphael. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, the last one is an older turtle. An older turtle. So he most likely grew over the past few years compared to Raphael, but they scale pretty well together, so I can't really complain. I think this is comic book accurate, but one of you guys can let me know in the comments if this is comic accurate or not. I probably didn't pay much attention to how tall the last one really was. Here he is standing next to some other figures I got in my collection, such as the SHF Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, and also the Jada Toys Fei Long from Street Fighter. And here's another random figure comparison. Here he is standing next to the Figma Saber from Fate Stay Night, and also the 4-inch nail Mega Man by Sentinel. Articulation. His head can go up and down, can do a full 360. Around the headband, can move side to side, can also do a full 360. Around the shoulders, and this is what I really like about this figure. This whole entire piece right here is made out of soft rubber, so it won't get in the way of you posing it, just like with the with the last Ronin figure with the armor one, where like there were some limitations, but with this one, his arms can go fully sideways, and even with this piece here, like since it's on a softer plastic, you won't have to worry about it being hindered too much. His arms can do a full 360, and around the bicep, it can do a full 360. We got the double jointed arms, so that can bend about over 90. Around the wrist, can do a full 360, can bend just a little bit. And there's no torso articulation, what to be expected, because you know he is a turtle. Unless one day they decided to like cut this part in half and maybe give them some more articulation, but because of how it's sculpted and how it looks aesthetically, I can see why they didn't add any articulation on there, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, so I was wrong about there not being a diaphragm joint. There's some type of joint around the shell, but you can kind of move it a little bit, but it's still kind of non-existent, but it's there. Around the legs, it can go forward just a little bit, but it does tend to drift off when you have it, you know, going forward. But going back is pretty good too, just like what I already mentioned. It kind of drifts a little bit, but the articulation is still pretty good. You can also do the splits as well. You got like a little diet swivel going on here. Around we got around the legs or around the knees. Rather, we got double jointed knees. The upper knee joint can also do a full 360. You might want to like put some oil or run this on some hot water, because when I took this out of the package, it was tight as hell. So yeah, and some people had issues with the knee right here. Like some people had issues popping it off. I personally didn't have that issue, at least not yet, but it can go back in pretty easy from what I see from the other reviews, so I'm not too worried if it does happen. And also, you might want to keep adjusting this knee pad right here, because it tend to move around a lot, unless you end up gluing it, which I personally debating if I should glue this part or not. I probably won't, because I'm afraid it might mess up the paint. But this piece allows for the legs to move a lot. And I also forgot to mention that this piece right here is soft rubber, so it won't get away with the, with the double jointed arms or legs. So I really like they added that in. There's no I thought there was there's an ankle articulation right there. Man, I must be really tired today. But yeah, it can go side to side pretty good. It can also bend about over 90. The back, not so much. So yeah, man, the articulation on this guy is honestly, he's really fun to pose around with. Aside from the limitations or, little to no articulation around the torso area or the diaphragm. I mean, he's a turtle, so obviously I'm not really expecting any articulation from there. But from other places, I am, and they delivered on that. So honestly, I can't really complain too much. Like, the amount of posability you can get this guy into, you can do it. And the joints on mine is actually not really that tight, so maybe I got a little lucky with this one. I'm not really sure, but this guy is really fun to pose around with. Like, I can't wait until I get the Senjabot and Karai and the Ultimate Foot Soldier, because I got some really crazy picks along with this Raphael. But that might be a bit until I get those guys. But when I do, you are expecting me to take a lot of pictures with this Raphael, because the posability on this guy is top notch. My final thoughts on this figure: it's a very solid figure. I really love the posability, the articulation, the sculpt, and the detail is like damn near perfect for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure in this scale. Like, I'm really having a blast posing with this guy, and I don't have any complaints about it. Honestly, my score in this figure is a 9 out of 10. Like, it's a damn near perfect figure. Like, you can put him into, well, not exactly every pose, but it's good enough to replicate the stuff that he was doing in the comics or the cartoons or whatever, which one you got into, right, regarding Ninja Turtles. But this is a really dope figure. I'm really looking forward to getting to the I really am looking forward to getting Leo and Master Splinter, all the other guys in this line, and hopefully I'll get back. Hopefully I will go back one day and buy the previous NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures that I missed out on in the past. But for now, I do want to focus on the last Ronin, since that's the line I'm like fully attached to right now. And it's just a really dope figure, man. I really like it a lot. So this pretty much concludes my review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Raphael from the last Ronin series. Also, sorry if I sound a bit off in this video. I'm pretty tired right now. I've been up since 6. I had work today until we started getting hit really hard by snow, and the time is with me recording this, it has not gotten any better. And the time when I do release this video around this week, it's still not going to be better, because it's going to be like below the single digits. So yeah, I only got this out the way because I was bored and I didn't really have nothing else to do. So hopefully in my next video or review I feel more alive compared to this one. I'm gonna still put it out anyway, despite how awkward I am. So whatever I gotta work on in my next video, I'll work on it. Or whatever mistakes I made, etc. I'll work on it in my next video, what I'm trying to say. So anyway, regardless of how awkward it is, and despite the fact that I'm still trying to work, with all this equipment I got, hope you guys enjoyed the review regardless. And if you guys did, you guys know what to do. You guys already know the deal. And yeah, so this has been AZN once again. And this concludes my review on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin Raphael. Hope you all have a great and safe day, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.